Hi everybody, this is Zombi and welcome to another one of my dungeon boss videos. Here we are with Shade, Dungeon Boss's latest hero. He's a dark, fast magical spirit caster. As you can see, he looks pretty cool. I thought I would do a quick review video, so we'll talk about some of his stats, suggested runes, and then also put some footage in there afterwards. So first off, let's quickly go over his Ascensions. You'll see them on screen now. More details for his Ascensions, you can find those on the forums. They list them out exactly what you need. I'll include a link in the description below so that you guys can quickly see them. Next then is runes. So interestingly then, he's got 5 purple slots. Quite an interesting take on what they did here. I quite like it. From the test that I've done so far, I would suggest that if you've got 3 stars just like I have, he's not particularly strong at the moment. What I'd like to see on him, what I'm going to try and aim for, are 2 bulwark, 1 health and 2 attack, like a vampiric and a power on there. At the moment, my Shade is very much geared towards attack because that's all I had sort of hanging around. I've got absolutely no defense on there, which makes him incredibly squishy. So do watch out for that one. If you've got any defensive stuff, put it out, put it onto him. Make sure he can survive so you can use those cool abilities that he's got, especially during PvP. The runes that I've suggested, that may well change as he stars up and those stats, those base stats change. But as I say, this is what I've got on him now. I'm dark power rune crazy, so I've got tons of them. So I think I will change that up, of course. So his traits, let's have a look at those next. He's fast, obviously, as I've mentioned. He's immune to fear, fairly useful. Takes less damage. Oops, that's that one. Takes less damage from non-physical attacks. Immune to taunt, which might well be useful. I'm not found a huge use for that right now because he's fast and he gets to act quite quickly. So don't know. We'll see how useful that one is. But this one is particularly good. Dark Shroud. It essentially makes him immune to all debuffs for the first round in a dungeon. So it's especially useful during PvP. I think that's where its application is strongest. For example, then, it makes you completely immune to Kai Surfs Up. Kai uses that ability and it's irrelevant for dark heroes. You can then just use your abilities and they're unaffected. It's really, really good. Something else it's been helpful for, I found in PvP, is Kobold's Pandemic Swarm. So when you kill Kobold, or if he tries to use his first ability on you, the Pandemic Swarm, you don't get diseased. So, you know, you can immediately see just how useful this is in PvP. So for abilities then, first up we have Haunted Past. This does some good damage, as you can see there. 2128 is the base damage for mine. That'll be looking pretty good as you start to star him up. It's an equivalent of Leo's Sun Worship in that it gives an enhancement of ×2 dark damage on anyone that's affected by the debuff. Remember though that is dark damage, not just an ability cast by any dark hero. The damage type needs to be dark, so bear that one in mind. Next one, Spirit Link. So here, this one links with an enemy and it transfers all the damage and debuffs that are affected onto Shade after that point onto the defender, and also it steals their buffs. So it makes him invulnerable basically for the time that that's up, or until the enemy hero dies. Cast it on Zen for some amusement and it'll steal his Aegis shield and so on. So it's actually quite a fun ability to use. Possession. Again, this makes Shade invulnerable for those 3 turns that this is up. It can actually be dispelled by anyone that can strip buffs off, like Viperia, Summon Augustus, and so on. Do note that you don't control the possessed hero if it's a PvE defender. So if you cast this on a boss, for example, during a normal dungeon in PvE, you will not control that hero's abilities then. The AI does. If it's in PvP, then you can cast it on a dead ally or a dead enemy, and then you will control the abilities. I don't know what the reasoning is for that. I'm not entirely sure, but that's how it works for now. I'm sure one of you guys, if you've got an answer for that one, post it up. It is great fun to actually cast this on dead enemies, especially powerful ones like end bosses and so on. And it's also really good to steal one of the PvP defender's heroes and actually turn him against them. As you'll see in some of the videos in the footage in a moment, I think at one point I was using 2 kobolds, which is pretty good. Some PvP footage and PvE footage for you guys to watch then, whilst I just talk about a few of the last pieces. Synergies wise, all dark heroes are going to benefit that join in Shade when they go on the rampage. Kobold in particular will help out Shade because of his extra energy that he gives at the beginning of a dungeon for all Dark Heroes. So that means that Soul Link is immediately available. Astrid, bring her along if you want to boost up Shade's defense, and bring along Dagrun if you want to increase his attack. This fight made me laugh then. So I started off by possessing Igorok. He's fairly weak, so doesn't do too much damage, but it shows if you had a powerful character that you're possessing, you can do a lot of damage. So he freezes them, takes some hits. As I mentioned earlier on, you're pretty much invulnerable whilst you're in possession of someone else. And there we go. Ponty takes him down. So you think 3 versus 1, especially with MK there, I'm kind of boned. But Soul Link goes on Ponty. These guys start attacking, but just all the damage goes on Ponty instead. Ponty nearly kills himself. MK finishes the job. And then at that point, because he's such a beast with his attack, he just finishes off. Really good. In summary then, I actually think Shade's a pretty good hero. I've enjoyed using him. He's good fun, and I think we'll likely find all sorts of great uses for him in PvP particularly. He's probably worth spending some gems on, so as ever, like I always say, support the devs. Spend some gems. Once the boss fight guys get the bugs sorted out in the animations, then it'd be pretty much perfect. I think all the functionality is there, so yeah, good job boss fight. That's all for now, guys. Please do leave comments, questions or suggestions in the comments section below. I'll always try to answer. Remember to check out the rest of my YouTube channel for more dungeon boss videos, or search Zombie Dungeon Boss in Google or YouTube for more. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.